welcome to a new vlog day. I'm sitting here in my dressing room, as you might recognize the background, having a cup of coffee, although I should be actually having my lunch soon. I've been filming some content for my Instagram. It's a brand collaboration and I really had to get it done before we fly to Finland in 2 days time, and I'm so pleased I got it done. It's about these home decor things and also these jumpers also from the brand, and this lovely necklace which I really like, and also these matching earrings which I like potentially even more. They're so pretty. I don't know if you can see. I think I mentioned it before that I really don't want to wear earrings that require me taking them off in the evenings, well, at least especially often. I want to be having them on for several days, so they need to be comfortable so I can sleep with them. So I'm going to be testing these tonight to see. Now I'm feeling like I need to have some leftover pasta for lunch and have a little nap, because today is actually Wednesday, which is the day when I have to do lots more driving because I'm taking my daughter to her netball practice. But anyway, yeah, I'm not really sure. There's not much to report about. The meeting was really exciting and I thought it went really well. It's one of those things that you just don't really know how things are going to go, but it could be such an exciting project if it actually comes to something, which if it doesn't come to anything, you will never hear it again. But if it will come to something, I'm sure I will talking so much about it that you'll get bored about it. I don't normally feel I have to do meetings fairly often, mostly online, but face-to-face ones as well. And I don't normally get nervous about them at all. I mean, I feel I'm quite happy to talk to anybody about anything really. It's not really, but I guess when you're really wanting things to go well, that's maybe when the nerves settle in a little bit. But it went okay and I'm now feeling happy and like that I've achieved loads. So I'm not really sure why I'm starting to tell you all about this, maybe because it's just how I'm generally feeling at the moment. So I need to do for this vlog, I think I'm going to be taking you to Finland with me. I'm hoping you are liking the idea. It's going to be February in southwest Finland, which hopefully is going to be lovely and snowy and wintry still, but unfortunately due to climate change, there's been some years where there has been barely any snow, which is unheard of really. But hopefully this year, I think, I haven't actually checked the latest, but then my parents live quite close to the coast, not by the sea, but quite close. So I think the weather can be a little bit more milder and temperamental in there, but let's hope there's going to be snow. So don't have much planned. My son is doing a work experience in Helsinki, which he's very excited about. And I don't know if I told you about this, but my parents have got recently a new dog. Oh my goodness me, they had this most wonderful dog. He was rehomed when he arrived, and I think he was about 2, and he died really unexpectedly last May. Like just was doing just fine, and then all of a sudden was not doing fine, and then my parents took him to the vet and there was nothing they could do to save him because he had such an advanced cancer, so they had to put him down then and there. And that was a day that me and my daughter were flying over, and I honestly still, when I'm thinking about it, hearing the message, that I get really tearful and emotional because we just all loved him so much. He was really, I mean, I love Lila obviously, but there was something super special about my parents' dog. So they have both been heartbroken about losing him, as he was such an important part of their lives, obviously, as you can imagine. And my mom especially hasn't really been feeling like she's ready for a new dog, but my brother had found another dog that he's now 1.5 years, another golden retriever, but this time it's the show variety. The previous dog was a working golden retriever, but this the new dog also needed rehoming. And I'm not sure if I think my dad got so excited that my mom just thought that okay, let's just go with it. So they had to drive like nearly all the way to Lapland to pick the new dog up, and they've now had him for a few weeks already. and I think he's quite different to the previous dog, like equally lovely, but just so much lazy and so much more into food. So we all decided, so our son was going to go already to the work experience thing, and we all decided that we want to go to see the dog basically because the house move is not happening anywhere near now, so we have time to go there. But yeah, so we are really excited. So I'll take you to Finland with me, and you get to meet the new dog as well, I'm sure, and just see. We don't have much planned, like I said. We're just going to be mainly at my parents' house and bimble around in there, and maybe do little day trips, or little, not even day trips, but some ventures outside. Maybe go to a little red cottage. If you follow me on Instagram, you might remember that in October I shared a few photos of the project, and quite a few people who were fairly surprised and potentially a little bit horrified how long it's taken us to do anything in that. We've owned that little cottage longer than we have owned this current house, and it is, I'm not even exaggerating, it is the world's slowest renovation or restoration project. First of all, we are there barely ever, so it really doesn't make things especially quick. I mean, that during the pandemic we didn't go for a couple of years, I think, and then we go, and then it's often winter and you can't really do anything, so it's just slow. There's no rush for it anyway. And we are also, or I think this is more my project, the interiors end of it at least. We are often, or we are wanting to reuse all sorts of old things. So like, we haven't really bought any. The only new thing we have bought there is wooden worktops for the kitchen, but we are reusing the old freestanding kitchen from the 1950s. And as my dad is a bit of a hoarder, we actually found a similar sort of freestanding 1950s kitchen from one of their old buildings. My dad does not like to get rid of anything if he can. My mom is more of a declutterer, and my dad wants to save everything. So he was saving this kitchen, I don't know what for, but that's now in the little cottage, and that has a new worktop. But the cottage is very basic anyway, so it's not, there's no running water, there's a well, and there's electricity, but the heating is done by wood burners or wood fired stoves. So it's a very different existence in there, and we haven't actually stayed there yet because it needed quite a lot of work, which my dad was super helpful. I'm not sure, I don't think we would have been even able to buy it if it wasn't for my dad. Is super handy, so he's been doing lots of work. So changed, like, you know, the roof is now fixed, and the floors that were rotten are now changed, so it's perfectly solid, in a good condition now, but it just needs some final touches. But yeah, anyway, it's now nearly 10 minutes long. This just my quick welcome to the new vlog chat. So I'm now going to go, but I'll probably share you some bits of the packing, and then I'll take you to Finland with me when we go on Friday. Very early Friday morning. It's not actually even that early, it's already nearly 10 to 7, but for some reason it feels very dark here this morning. I'm sitting in my dressing room, as you might see, and what feels like under the sun, because I have my super powerful ring light on, and I have just finished packing. I wasn't feeling really that well yesterday, so I didn't manage to do much. And packing I've just done in about 2 minutes. We are going to be staying at my parents for the most of the time, so I mean, they live in the middle of the countryside, so you don't really feel like you need to have many outfit changes there. And my mom is very efficient with the laundry, so don't need to have that many options for that reason either. We are going to go to Helsinki on our way back for one night. We're staying at my brother's. I did go to Pilates yesterday, which I somewhat managed to survive, even if I really wasn't feeling quite so. Oh, and was invited. So I met this new lady who was super lovely, and she had really kind. We are very new friends, but she was very kind to invite me to her birthday breakfast yesterday, so I was there as well, and that feels like that was it. It's some work, and yeah. But anyway, I'm going to now stop talking because I'm clearly distracted in here, which you can probably tell. I'm going to be leaving in about an hour. I'm just going to have a nice cup of coffee, and as Mr. Nordic is driving, I'm hoping to have a little nap in the car. Let's see how that goes. I'm usually quite good at sleeping in the car, but yeah, I'll speak to you later. Right, so we are now in the car and nearly ready to go. Didn't even get into arguments this morning. My daughter said earlier to me that every time we leave, I'm always really grumpy, which I don't think is true at all, but we do often have a little bit of tense atmosphere before we head out from the door. But yeah, we are going to drop Lila to her doggy daycare first and then head towards Heathrow. Very much looking forward to that. Hello, doggy. Hello. Very clever. Good morning from very sunny southwest Finland. It's absolutely glorious winter's morning in here, minus 12 degrees or so. And I'm just about to head to our local town with my mom. I have my hat and my gloves with me, but I'm just going to jump in the car, so I don't think I need them in there. But yeah, we arrived here a few days ago and had a lovely weekend with the family, visiting. Spent lots of time with my fairly new niece. She's nearly 3 and she's the cutest thing ever, and she loves playing, and yeah, she's absolutely wonderful. And then so both of my brothers as well. So we have now had a tour around in here. Lots of stuff, but not exactly anything I actually want to be buying, not least because if we are really going to be moving house, I don't think I need to have any more things to take, but lots of cute, like crockery and stuff like that. My mom found a pair of gloves for my niece, and we are now going to head to a cafe to have something to eat because I didn't have breakfast and I'm actually feeling quite hungry, so that's the plan. I'm thinking this would make a fantastic fabric for a sofa for the new house. I absolutely love the colors and the pattern is so pretty. Look at the lovely blue sky. My mom and I are going to the supermarket now to buy some food for the next few days. And I'm going to buy some Finnish rye bread and salted licorice to take back home. I have a bit of a salted licorice habit anyway. So it's a risky business because I end up eating it probably more than I really should, but can't help it. I just like it too much. Look at these really cute little Moomin things. I'm not even that much of a Moomin fan, but I do quite like the style of these. That's very pretty. Little bowl. Oh, look, this is the garden section. I'm going to have a little look on the different seeds they have on offer. I'm going to grow some peas. My mom has a greenhouse as well, but my dad has built a protective cover for it for over winter because they sometimes get so much snow that she was worried it's going to, otherwise the roof might break. Also really pretty flowers as well. I'm a big fan of this brand, the Fiskars. They have lots of really nice products. I have one pan from them, which I don't actually use that often. I also want to show you this because obviously we are in Finland, so supermarkets are selling ice skates. They're called ice skates? I can't remember what they're called now. Skates for ice skating, so it must be ice skates. And ice hockey. Honestly, I can't remember that name either. You know, how you can play with that. And here are the more traditionally female ice skates. I have a pair somewhere at my parents' house, but I'm not sure where it is. I don't think there's any ice anywhere near that we could go to do some ice skating. Here's my mother getting frozen vegetables. So she can come down nimbly. Yes, she did. You're numpty. You're an absolute numpty. Happy snowy lunchtime from Finland. It's about -6 degrees at the moment and we are just getting ready to go for the woods because we are going to have a winter picnic in there. Winter picnic just means that you just pack your picnic stuff and make a big fire and fry some sausages on a stick in the woods, in the snow. instead of going to a beach or somewhere in the summertime. We absolutely love them. I think they're really, really fun things to do and just makes like such a nice outing. So we're just going to take, my mom is making us some bread, like a flat bread. She was using like leftover mashed potato and some flour, and she's making those at the moment. And then we are just going to take some coffee in thermos and those sausages. And I bought yesterday us this really lovely pulla cinnamon bun from, like a big one from the cafe. My mom and I had lunch yesterday, and so we're going to take that with us as well. And yeah, as you saw, my mom was doing some sewing for me. I have that dress that I absolutely love, but I somehow managed to, like 3 of the bottom buttons came out. I think I nearly fell down from somewhere. I think that's what happened with it. So she was just sewing them today again for me, mainly because I have done it once and they all came out really quickly. So I'm just not as good as she is. I think now they're going to be fitting. But as you can see, it's starting to snow here a little bit. I'll take you with us for the picnic and show you a little bit how it looks like to have a picnic in the snow in the woods. It's now the following day. It's our last morning here in my parents' house, and yeah, I got a bit of a cold yesterday, so I didn't really sleep well at all, and I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, which is a bit of a shame for the timing wise, because we are going to go to Helsinki today and fly in tomorrow. But it's all right. I mean, it's not too bad. It's just a cold, but maybe I take some painkillers or something to see if I can make myself feel a little bit more comfortable. We are going, my dad and mom are driving us to my brother's flat, and on the way we are going to stop on that shop I've shared on my Instagram before. It's called Kasvihuoneilmio, which is a bit of a mouthful, and it's such a fun shop. It's really random. It's been built, although they're using like this old massive greenhouse that has a gigantic vine growing on the ceiling, and it's just like such a fun shop. They have a really nice cafe, and it's just full of all sorts of random treasures. It's gigantic, and the tradition has always been that when we go to the airport or to Helsinki, we always stop there when we can. So we are going there, and I'll show you around as well. It definitely is worth seeing. And then we are spending tonight at my brother's with his family, and this afternoon I have organized meetings with a couple of friends who happen to be around and able to pop to Helsinki to meet us. And we are going to have a lunch with our son, who I haven't seen since Sunday, bless him. He's been doing his work experience and he has had a really nice time, but I think he's found it quite exhausting because it's obviously meeting lots of new people and doing stuff.
he's been mostly using English, but I think he's been also speaking some Finnish. And although he speaks fluent Finnish, he doesn't use it obviously as much as he does his English. So it's been a bit of a new thing for him. So, and using obviously that with strangers as well, who might not be quite so helpful as I am and his family are with helping him with the language. But before I go, I was going to show you as well. I completely forgot I was even wearing it. My mom had this old fabric and she made me a little scarf, and I just love the pattern so much. I think it's the cutest thing. I love the colors, I love the pattern. So I decided to wear it to add a little bit of pop of color for my otherwise very grey and plain face, basically. I'm not sure if it's working. I hope it is. Of stuff this place has is slightly overwhelming, but it is such a fun shop. I don't usually ever buy here anything because we are always here on our way to airport, and suitcases are usually full to the brim anyway, but maybe one day. We are going to go to a cafe though anyway and have a nice coffee and they're one of the gigantic donuts. Friday morning, we are now on our way to the airport in a rather small taxi, so we can barely fit our suitcases in here. My daughter and I were both unwell, and we didn't actually end up doing anything yesterday in Helsinki apart from seeing few friends. So I didn't really do any filming or anything, and then we spent the evening with my brother's family, which was already lovely, but not much time to think about any sort of filming. So we are now on our way back home. We had bought a direct flight to Heathrow, but that got cancelled last night. So now instead of that, we are flying first to Berlin and then Heathrow from there, which is a little bit annoying, but I mean, at least we get to go home today, which is the main thing really. So I'm going to finish this now for this and wish you a